The World Wrestling Federation. For over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
Oh, it's live, Hal.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Everybody three count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife.
You're too damn selfish, and that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg, and that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
3 ain't enough now, I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
Oh my goodness, what do we do? There's a 1. There's a 2. Oh!
Wow. So make no mistake about it. This is an official declaration of war.
This is what you call a paradigm shift.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3 Count Thursday, live here on our Facebook page. Things might look a little different, but hey, we're still doing the thing. 6+ years running. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome in. We're the podcast of the Millennium. Nikki says she won't be able to join us tonight. That's a bummer, but she wanted to jump in and say hi. Devin's in here with us. Everybody else who's watching live, please give it a like. Please give it a share. We'd appreciate that. Get as many people in here as possible. We got tons to talk about this week, including the greatest ever and starting a busy weekend. But first, make sure you go to 3countthursday.com where you'll find all of our social media links, our YouTube channel. We got our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver!
Uh-oh. Tim, I think you're muted.
What a maneuver!
Thank you, Tim. We have our Patreon page at patreon.com/3Count Thursday. Our home network, of course, is NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. We stream daily at leavesports.com. Ryan, I don't think is quite with us yet, so it's leeibsports.com. We also have our collar and elbow brand deal. If you go to store.collarandelbowbrand.com and use promo code 3COUNT, the number 3 in the word count, you get 10% off each and every order. I know they just recently dropped some new summer wares over there, and there's some pretty fun stuff. So make sure you head over to store.collarandelbowbrand.com. And let's go around the room. Tim,
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just, as it would, living life. Doing things as good as I can. I'm very surprised that my hair has kept this color for so long. Like it's ludicrous how it just hasn't faded yet.
no, it's looking
Vibrant.
Good.
It's very.
I'm still as bald as ever. Matt,
How you doing?
Doing well. Preparing for the big move. About a week and a day away, so just getting ready. Things are starting to thin out behind me. So by next week, there won't be anything there.
All righty. Well, that's exciting. I hope everything continues to go well on that aspect. Lee and cousin Brian, how you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Ryan,
How you doing?
oh, he disappeared. Intern Mark,
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I was getting worried about Ryan because before the show came on, we saw him shirtless for a second. But
yeah, you got to hear about that
on
over on the Patreon.
Yeah, it looks like he's back and he's shirted, but now he's gone. But hey, anyway, I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad you're here with us, Mark. We like having you here. Ryan, I think you're finally maybe.
How you doing?
leeibsports.com.
That's the one.
Not a minute late.
One. No,
Holy
not
shit.
late. Not late at all. You right on time.
So much, man. I was working really hard on this new background that you're seeing, and I just ran late. I'm so sorry.
It's
Never
okay.
again.
It's totally okay. We'll forgive you this time. Again, if you're following along in the live video, yeah, like I said, give it a like, give it a share. We'd appreciate that. Also, make sure you're subscribed to our podcast feed. And if you're on there on Apple Podcasts, give us a rate and review. We would appreciate that. Do we anybody got anything else before we jump in?
Let's hit it.
Tell us how you were doing?
Oh yeah. How the heck are you, Big Jim?
I'm doing fine. It was, a little rough. Like we closed the show last week. Like I said, my grandma had passed away. We laid her to rest earlier this week. It was good. I feel much better this week than I did last week. So we're moving along. We're getting better each day. And let's jump right into it. We got our weekly segment. We have 4 birthdays this week. We go all the way back to 1964. Tori, we all remember Tori from the Attitude Era. She was born today in 1964. Also, our favorite Raw commentator, Byron Saxton. 1981. Nick Miller, I believe now in New Japan. I know he had spent some time in NXT and elsewhere. Was born 1985, and NXT UK champion Walter, born in 1987. So happy birthday to those 4.
I'm older than Walter.
Yeah, we
are
all older than Walter.
Get me the hell out of here. I can't. This is
Walter's
the worst.
Theme didn't make our top themes list.
Yeah, that one's a bummer. I mean, his theme's definitely better, easy for me to say, than Chronic, but I mean, there's not much worse. Also, in 1996, Lord Steven Regal defeated Lex Luger for the WCW television title in Dalton, Georgia, ending Luger's second run with the title and beginning Regal's third. 2003, Michael Shane. We all remember Michael Shane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I sure do. Hell
sure
yeah.
do. Defeated defending champion Chris Sabin and Frankie Kazarian in the first ever Ultimate X match to win the TNA X Division title in Nashville, Tennessee. The match involved, of course, hanging the title belt at the center of an X that was formed by 2 steel cables strung above the ring. Wrestlers had to climb across the cables to get the belt and win the match. I always loved the Ultimate X. Like, do they still do that ever?
I don't know the last time they did.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's something that if they don't do it, they should reinstate that. And then finally, 2006 WWE SummerSlam took place from the TD Bank North Garden in Boston. Fun fact about the TD Bank North Garden, it's gone through like 37 name changes in like the little over 20 years that arena has been a place. The show featured 8 matches, 1 dark, 7 main show. The opening match was Chavo Guerrero defeating Rey Mysterio in 11 minutes and 1 second. The main event was Edge, accompanied by Lita, successfully defending his WWE Championship over John Cena in 15 minutes and 41 seconds. Had Edge gotten DQ'd, he would have lost the title. Yes, Tim.
The last Ultimate X match was April 4th, 2019.
Okay.
It was WWE agent Pat Buck taking on problematic Chris brother Jake Christ.
Okay.
Dante Fox, who I think that's AR Fox.
Okay.
Ace Austin, and the winner of that match, Johnny Impact.
Huh. How about that? So I don't know. Maybe they were planning on doing one this year before the world shut down. But that was for August the 20th in professional wrestling.
Great
all
day.
right, Tim. Here we go. We have our big moment. This is your baby. Let's jump in here.
So a big thank you to everyone a part of the 3 Count Thursday family. Without you guys, this tournament would have just been the 5 of us talking about wrestling themes for about a week and letting it go and not having good content. And I use good loosely. But thank you. all the same for all your votes, your participation. But it came down to two, a rematch from WrestleMania 14 as Stone Cold Steve Austin took on the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in the grand finals of the tournament. And with a resounding majority of the votes, your winner and proclaimed greatest wrestling theme ever, Chronic. No, it's not Chronic. It's it is I Won't Do What You Told Me, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
How you doing?
Yeah, this one feels right. Like, I mean, it couldn't have been Michaels.
Did you hit the "How you doing" accidentally there?
No, because that was Austin. That's the only Steve Austin soundbite I have on the, which I should have
You
a
don't
lot.
have the Tough Enough clip on there?
I'm almost shocked we don't have the glass breaking.
We don't have glass breaking.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
I forgot when I moved.
That other Austin clip where he's singing somebody else's theme, right?
Right.
Why I don't have that on the soundboard. No, I don't have that on the board.
What the hell?
But
I mean, ideally, it should have been Stone Cold's theme up against Stone Cold singing Mike and Maria's theme.
Yeah, I mean, it probably should have been.
That's better than Chronic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's Ryan. There's so many things better than Chronic. So many. So I feel like this is a theme that I don't feel cheated that it ended up winning. Like if Michaels would have won, I would have just claimed that the past 6 weeks of our show just didn't exist. I may have deleted them from the archives. I don't even know. But it was there. Now that we're at the end looking back on it, is there a theme that was on there that you think should have made it further, maybe should have won? Like, because I don't think we stop it. Put that picture down, Ryan. Stop that. Like, I don't necessarily, because I don't think we did this when we started, because we didn't want to sway votes or anything.
Right.
But what to you, and we'll start with Tim. What to you is the greatest wrestling theme ever?
I've got to stand by the overall number one pick of the draft of the tournament, Metalingus. As a song, it's great. As a wrestling theme, it is also great. There's a lot of, now I will say, there's a lot of other themes that I like better, but they're like independent themes and they're very niche.
A couple that come to mind.
Hallowicked uses the one song from Beavis and Butthead Do America where they're doing the acid trip. That song literally makes me bop in my seat every time. This guy right here had a pretty sweet theme. El Generico used Olé by the Bouncing Souls. That was pretty dope.
Okay.
I was like an independent wrestling theme snob in the early 2000s. I was scouring all over the ROH boards, pulling all of the themes, and then legally acquiring them.
Oh, sure. That's the only way that people of our generation acquired music.
And so I would legally acquire these songs and put them on mixtapes, that or CD mix CDs, and go from there. So, yeah, but as far as big themes are concerned, that's what it is.
All right, Matt, how about you? Is there one that kind of sticks out that you're like, should have gotten further, or to me this is the best?
I mean, my favorite is always going to be DX's "Are You Ready?" But I do think that Cult of Personality should have made it further than it did. That was the one glaring, and I think that was just kind of that was part of the Michaels run, wasn't it? That got taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what it is. But I think that one, I was kind of surprised that didn't make it at least to the Elite Eight, if not Final Four. But those would be the two that I would have liked to see go further than they did.
How about you, Ryan?
I think the right song won our bracket. I really do. I looked at this as like the moment the song came on, you knew things were changing, and you heard the broken glass, you knew business was about to pick up. I can hear, King and JR calling the moment when you hear the broken glass. If not that, growing up watching wrestling, the first few chords of Real American, that bump, 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 it was Hulk Hogan. I can hear again, I can hear it being called just listening to the music and the excitement of Hulkamania. So those two for real. I still think we put the wrong CM Punk theme on. Cult of Personality was great. I was much more into the AFI song, but I'd be remiss if I didn't utter the words chronic during my time here.
That's fair. That's on brand. Intern Mark, how about you?
I was hoping that, I'm not surprised it didn't win, but I was hoping Ric Flair's theme would go a little further. Yeah, Flair's theme is one of my favorites. From Macho Man's Pomp and Circumstance is another one of my favorites. And then, of course, it did make the cut, but Shane Strickland, when he wrestled Independence, coming out the Jackson 5, wants you back. I mean, that's tough to beat. When you hear the ivories being tickled there for the Jackson 5, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, that's a solid one. For me, I feel like this is definitely one of the ones that stands out as like when I think of wrestling themes. Like this one, is one that will always come to mind. If I can like contest it with one from back in the day, I would probably go like Ultimate Warrior. Like that one, just, I mean, you heard that and you knew what was up. Yeah, I mean, again, that St. Louis regional just got silly. Like CM Punk not getting that far, or getting as far as it should, like Nakamura upending Randy Orton. Like, again, Nakamura's theme is a banger, but man, Orton's is really good. Brian throws a good question here in the comments. Cousin Brian, he says, what's the best theme that didn't make the bracket at all? So I'd have to and I'm trying to remember the entire bracket here, and I should be able to, because I think I actually have the picture of it on my computer. But if I can bring it up.
Did Jive Soul Bro, did that make it?
No, I don't believe. Tim will be able to answer the question of did this make it.
There's two right off the top of my head without even looking at the bracket. It's a shame we didn't put the 3-count theme on there. I don't know how that ever got missed, but shame on all of us for that. And I'm Back by Eric Bischoff. I thought that was a perfect theme for his return to the WWE that also did not make the bracket. I feel like we could have doubled our bracket size and still would have had this question and would have been talking about ones that we just omitted.
Yeah, we probably could have. And obviously, like, when we go, we didn't want to double up, like, because like AJ Styles I Am was on the bracket, but like I love his WWE theme. Like there's one, the Shield didn't make the list, and I wonder if the fact that like that ended up getting used by Roman Reigns and like people just kind of soured a bit on Reigns right, wrong, or indifferent if that didn't maybe affect it. Because I always enjoyed the Shield theme.
Yeah, I mean, when you take out the Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta, it kind of loses the fun of that theme song for me.
Right. And it's technically it's two different themes. They're named differently. There's a bit of a difference in the cadence of the song too. I'm looking through the list. There's a lot of different Undertaker themes that just didn't make the list because we had to have one representative from every theme. But if we had opened that up, King of Kings, Triple H.
Yeah,
that's a banger.
Ryan was pounding the table for Kid Rock American Badass for so long.
Jeff
ball with a
Jarrett.
ball.
Jeff Jarrett, My World didn't make the cut. I'm trying to see what else.
Is that the one that has the really like squealy guitar at the start?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's actually a really classic. I'm trying to think of because we had the Fiend, we didn't get the Bray Wyatt theme. Broken Out in Love. We didn't get that. I'm trying to see what else did not make the cut. John Cena's current theme didn't make the cut.
The Beverly Brothers theme didn't make the cut.
Yeah, Beverly Brothers did not make the cut. Yep.
Remo definitely didn't. That's a glare. Did any women even make other than Lita?
Yeah, Sasha Banks was on there.
Yeah, Sasha made the list. Yep.
Sasha was on. I mean,
Victoria,
Mike and Maria together.
Yeah, and Victoria was in the play-in.
That's two jam. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So we had some.
Andre the Giant theme didn't make it.
It did not. Lou says
Andres didn't make it.
Yeah, Lou said Andres hands down should have made it on there. Brian says, "How about Billy Gunn's I'm an Ass Man?"
Ass Man.
That was always a fun theme. That was always a fun
that was a good one.
Like
did Val Venus did Hello Ladies? Did that make it? I mean, that's iconic from that era.
No, that wasn't high on my list.
What about The Godfather?
Godfather didn't.
Godfather was good.
No, Godfather didn't even get nominated to be on.
Sad. Very sad. You hate to see it.
There's a lot of.
I was pulling for Kamala.
Oh, that
Kamala's
was nice.
theme I always thought was very good.
Yep.
But yeah,
Cool Rikishi. That was a big one in that era.
Dude, the Attitude Era.
Rikishi.
The Attitude Era in itself had just so many freaking good things.
It really did.
Jason says,
what
"How
about Kane? The Kane's theme.
Did WCW icon Alex Wright's theme not make it?" That's a great question. That is a fantastic question.
Alex Wright's theme was on my short list.
Yeah.
Or not my short list, but like I had to pare down a bit, but Alex Wright's theme was absolutely on my list. Like
I can't recall a lot of WCW themes because
there's a lot of like sneaky good songs.
Did you guys pick up on it was last week's during HH's birthday when WWE like posted a video, they used American Made on the video instead of Real American.
Huh.
I saw that.
It was strange.
Wild.
I liked American Made, but I was shocked that WWE, like who has done, I mean, just about everything they can to twist the fork that we won, used that theme for his birthday.
They might have a better hold on American Made than they do Real American.
Was American Made Jimmy Hart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah,
and Real American's Rick Derringer. So they.
Yeah.
I personally, if I had to choose between those two, I would probably pick American Made as the better song. Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
As a better song.
No, it's not WCW bias. It's like it's a better song.
If you're just going song quality
red, white, and blue
itself, I do think American Made is better. I think it's the connection to too real American.
Yeah.
Because that changes the opinion for people.
Right. No.
Let me throw in Eye of the Tiger, which would be the best out of those.
I don't necessarily like Eye of the Tiger as a theme.
When did he use?
I don't care for it either.
So he used it until he got Real American, and then when he got Real American,
pre-Hulkamania.
Yeah, because I think actually, if I'm right, Real American was originally the U.S. Express theme.
That's correct. Originally,
yeah,
it was. I don't know if they even came out to that, but on the wrestling album, it was introduced as being for Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo.
Yeah. So originally,
I gotta dig that out. I actually have that on vinyl. The wrestling album.
Hold that.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yes, for sure.
I think I actually have because there was two, right? There was the wrestling album, and then there was a second one, and I feel like I actually might have both.
It was Pile Driver.
Yeah, I think I have both of them.
Yeah, Pile Driver was the second one. That was a big deal.
I should definitely.
I had Pile Driver on cassette in the attic somewhere.
Mark, what don't you have in that attic?
Yeah, that's
space.
A good question. But that's true. I don't have space in the attic. I feel so bad for my kids because it's likely going to stay packed till I'm gone. So they're going to be the ones cleaning it out.
That's how it is. That's the great last gift any parent has for their child.
Last gift.
Hey, here's my damn attic. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. It's going to take them 6 months to get through that.
And here's hoping they don't feel bad when they're like, we got it. Do we throw this away? Or, do we save it? I don't know.
Yeah, I had one of
all
those.
Going to be old wrestling figures and ET memorabilia.
Oh,
how does
Hershey
one
Park
man
plush? It's terrible.
How does one man have so many ET masks? I just don't get it.
I can hear poor Lauren and Alex fighting over things. Alex saying, "Well, Dad really liked this," to everything, and Lauren like, "We gotta throw something away."
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Your poor kid.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so bad.
God bless them.
Just bring it an auctioneer. Let them have at it.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's actually they're gonna make a killing. They're gonna make.
If you die before Larry Peace does, your kids will live handsomely.
You ought to write now. You ought to write in your living will that all of the contents of your attic will go to Roots Market to be sold.
Oh. Can you imagine?
That would be.
They could actually auction that off. That would be something.
There you go.
That would be the perfect tribute to you.
That would be.
But man,
I'd like to have them sell it outside, not at the auction.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But man, this was a fun tournament. I enjoyed seeing what the listeners came up with and how it shook out each week. I have a couple of ideas of what we can do for the next one. Maybe we'll let it breathe through the remainder of August and maybe the Raw after Labor Day we'll throw a new one out. You know, give the people something to look forward to in these difficult times. You know, we're giving back.
Is it boots?
Is it boots?
Best boots. Yeah.
Best boots.
Best
Bret
boots,
Hart,
baby.
Game over. Yeah.
The Rock, baby.
That could be a fun one. That actually could be a fun one. You say that in jest,
You're a
Ryan,
boot guy, aren't you? I know.
that?
I said I regret it already.
Here we go. 32 boot tournament.
There it is. 32 boots. All right, let's go ahead and move on to this Saturday night. Of course, WWE Network.
Actually, do you know who had great boots before we move on, Jim?
Who's that?
Who had great boots?
Were they work boots?
No, they were work-in boots.
No, they weren't
boots.
working boots. You ever seen a Chronic match? There is no work.
There's no work in there. No work.
Brian Clark wore the working boots.
They it was what was the over under on bumps in a Chronic match? 3?
That's high. That's real high, Jim.
It was all the other team.
Definitely take the under. Definitely take the under. But yeah, let's move on to this Saturday. Of course, WWE Network live from Full Sail. It is NXT Takeover 30. There is 6 matches on the card. We got 1 match on the pre-show, and we'll start with that one. That is Breezango taking on Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, and then also taking on Legado del Fantasma, a triple threat tag team match to determine the number 1 contenders for the NXT tag titles, which I just assume it would be on an episode of NXT. Like, I don't think it's like number 1 contender for later that night. So I guess it's just for a match at a later date. I'm predicting Breezango. I don't know why, because we all know what happens to Tyler Breeze at NXT takeovers. But I'm just going to hope that 2020 is going to strike and somehow Tyler Breeze will have a victory at a takeover. Mark.
Did Fandango's theme make it to the themes? I can't remember.
No,
that was a good
neither
one.
did Tyler Breeze's.
Boy. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I'll go with Breezango too. I was on the fence, but it'd be nice to see those guys get some championship gold. They deserve it.
Ryan, how about you?
I agree. I think it would be great to see Breezango. That is not my pick. I'd love to see it. I'm going to go with Team 1-2. Is that still what they do, the 1-2 thing? I'm not watching NXT in like 2 weeks. Maybe they changed Denny Burch 1-2. No, nobody watches NXT anymore.
They're still 1-2.
Sure, that's still a thing.
You could have said yes.
I nodded.
I honestly didn't know.
Can't hear a nod, Dick. Go ahead, Tim.
Look at the screen.
We're on video. It's a video podcast now, Ryan. Video.
My Twitch. Are we on Twitch?
No,
we're not.
I'm watching on Twitch. What the hell am I watching?
Porn? I don't know. Is there porn?
There's no porn on Twitch. Amazon owns that.
No, it is. I was on Pornhub. That's my fault. I was on Pornhub. That's on me.
That's you.
My bad.
Is that why your shirt was off earlier?
No, I'm buttoned up. I was looking nice.
You got a polo.
Can I answer?
Yes, Tim, go ahead.
It's over here, Ryan over here throwing out blanks, wasting tissues. I am going to go Breezango for the fact that it's not Takeover. It's the Takeover pre-show, and Tyler Breeze should be safe.
Well played. Matt, how about you?
I am also going to go with Breezango, just so they can be themselves. Get a little run with the number 1 contender type thing, and then eventually lose the champion.
Okay, Len, let's go to the we'll start at the top here. The ladder match for the vacant NXT North America Championship, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this. Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and the other guy.
Redacted.
Yeah, the other guy. Man, dude, I want to see the other guy taken out of this match real hard. Real hard. I hate that he's in this match. I have Damian Priest picking up the win. Basically anybody but the other guy I'm fine with, but my prediction is Damian Priest. Ryan, we'll go to you.
I'm gonna go with Cameron Grimes. I didn't think I'd love the change from Trevor Lee, but it's not much. It's really grown on me, so I am going CG Cameron Grimes.
Okay. Mark.
Well, I'm going with Damian Priest as well. I'm a big fan, and I think the title would help him. I think he needs that title. He wants that title.
Absolutely. Matt, how about you?
I I'm going to go with Gargano just because we've been saying he's primed for a main roster call-up for like the past 17 NXT shows now. So if they're not sending him up, then you might as well put a title on him, and then when he is finally ready to go up in 2024, he is ready to put someone over. Side note, isn't Bronson the name that guy that won Tough Enough used as his ring name?
Is it the wolf or whatever, the Yeti, the Yeti? Yeah.
Josh Briggs?
No,
Isn't that his...
Yeti?
No. The most recent
Tough
Enough.
Yeah, Josh Briggs or something.
Was that
I don't think it's
name,
Bronson.
but what was his ring name? Wasn't it Bronson or something? Because he did
let me look it up here.
I know what you're saying now. Yeah.
Who the hell won the damn thing?
Awkward.
Tim, who do you have? Who do you got for?
Well, I'm absolutely rooting for the Thickums. Give me Bronson Reed. Doing it for the Thick Boys. Because we need it.
It was Bronson Matthews.
There it was. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't find it. Fucking
It's
Wikipedia.
Fine. The internet's tough to
was not cooperating tonight. But yeah, Bronson Reed would be a great one as well. Honestly, like seriously, I have zero issue with anybody winning except for Redacted. Like just fuck, like, and this may be a dumb question. Was last night's NXT shot last week? Was it pre-taped last week or was it shot this week?
I don't
know.
I don't even care.
Right, but I mean, not that it should make it any better, but like, good God, like it's bad.
You do realize by WWE logic, Redacted's winning the belt, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no chance that really happens, though, right?
No, there's definitely a chance it happens. Like, there's absolutely a chance.
Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation Entertainment.
Would anyone be surprised if it did happen?
I would not.
No. I mean, the fact that he's in the match doesn't. It makes me not surprised that it would happen.
Right.
If he's in the match, he can win it. Now, there's an opportunity that he might get jumped out and we might get a Dexter Loomis comeback.
Okay.
We think that there's any chance that the Deadspin article has any impact on his standing in this match.
Maybe.
Like,
I mean, that Deadspin article is pretty damning.
The headline itself is real bad.
It's tough to say though, because he's still in at this point. Like he's made it this far. Like Deadspin didn't really say anything new.
Right.
Like typically you would say, well, Vince doesn't really pay attention to that shit. Triple H usually does, but he seemingly either ignored this or has, some other reason to put him in at this point. So I don't know.
Triple H has made a statement about it though to CBS, and then again on like a conference call where he said, "Look, I said what I said. I'm going to move on." So, is what Triple H did enough for you guys?
I said this like 3 months ago or 2 months ago on the podcast, but like the WWE is exceedingly week after week making me re-question the rose-colored glasses I have worn for the company, with just horrible decision after decision after decision. This is another one. And eventually, I, as a fan, have to break that cycle. But
Right.
I'm an addict.
Yeah. And I mean,
and I refuse to watch Impact. So,
unfortunately, ring announcer on Wednesday night on the other Wednesday night show is in a very similar situation. And the other Wednesday night show didn't even make a comment or anything. So like, it's, I mean, Triple H saying what he did, like saying that they like looked into it, like how did you look into it and not see what was there? Like, do you not look on, like, do you not, I mean, do you look for a police report that wasn't there? Is that how you're researching it? Like, because you just have to spend 5 minutes in your mentions, and I'm sure everybody's filling them up at this point.
And this is a lot different than the Matt Riddle situation.
Oh, very different.
Because at least with Matt Riddle, everyone is a consenting adult, and it's more of just you was doing something on the side and you didn't want your wife to find out, and you were trying to hide it from everybody, and then when you said, "Hey, we're done," like, then things begat things, and you're trying to distance yourself from an indiscretion. I get that. But
sure.
This is bad.
Come on, man. This is not a good look. Even if it's false, you gotta like not use him, man. Like, even
and that was the point I made. That was the point I made last night. It is like, I am not happy that he is in this match. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that you jump to fire him right away, but like, you can't put him back on TV. You really can't put him in this prominent of a spot when you're not 100% sure. Because let's be honest, you can't be 100% sure at this point. You don't. You're not. Like, and that's the issue I have. I'm still watching the show. I still watch Dynamite, even though the ring announcer's still there and hasn't been addressed by them either. So like, it's, I don't think the WWE didn't do enough to answer Ryan's question. I don't think the response they gave is enough.
That
only
Deadspin article is not good.
It's not good, and
I'm just reading it now. It's not good.
It had like, that's where shareholders could move the needle.
And unfortunately, though, Deadspin has a bit of
bad track record,
pulp, like a very pulpy type of precedent, as to not necessarily being credible news and being more on the lines of like editorial.
Is Bixenspan, is he Deadspin?
I don't know. I know Bix has his own website, I think, now. I think it's babyfacevheel.com. But either way, like, I like Bix. Like, Bix is a friend of mine, good place Hall of Famer. He loves the Uncle Taker. So we go with that. But if this were like TMZ,
something a little more reliable, yeah.
Like, if TMZ breaks something, then the redacted, God,
yeah,
to think that he's in the same vein for me as HH,
it's bad. It's bad.
In terms of Triple H, I mean, I think for me anyway, I'm not going to speak for all of us, but I expect more of Triple H as an executive than what we've seen out of him with this incident. With Vince, I think we can all just, or we have all just been like, okay, well, unfortunately that's Vince. And at this point there's no changing Vince. But Triple H was kind of always that alternative voice, and now it's like he's almost falling in line, which to me is disappointing to see that, because I'd expect more out of him to address something like this.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is, if he got a directive from above that said, you're going to be asked about this, duck, dive, ditch, dodge, and duck, or, whatever the 5 Ds of dodgeball, like, just avoid the question as much as possible, like, you gave your statement and then move on. So yeah, my hope is that's why he handled the way that he did, and not that he's falling in line in a different fashion.
what, and refresh my mind, happened with Enzo, because I feel Enzo was accused and the WWE pulled the trigger very quickly. I feel like they wanted to not do that with Redacted here,
Yeah, I
but
think
went too far not pulling that trigger.
was Enzo accused of like rape, right?
But like of an adult, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was
yeah,
just accusations at that time, and they pulled the trigger very fast.
they did. And then it turned out to be
Maybe, right?
questionable accusations.
Yeah, I mean, was Enzo still at his height at that point? Because I feel
No,
like
I
they
think
were
he
kind of
was
tapering off anyway.
He was cruiserweight champ.
He was
Well, I think they were looking for a reason.
Yeah, I think he was
that was
on his
plenty of
way to
reason.
getting future endeavored at that point.
Right.
Because at
But
that
has
time,
Patrick Clark really been at the top of his?
I mean,
the last,
yeah.
the last couple months anyway, right before pandemic.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I would say more so, at least on the rise more than Enzo. Enzo was on the fall.
Yeah, because
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Velveteen Dream was on his way to the NXT title match at Takeover, and
Oh, was it? Okay, I was thinking his Roddy Strong feud.
Potentially, I honestly thought he was going to win, but then I think some of this stuff started to make it, bubble up to the top. So I think that's why they changed course on that one. But yeah, it's not good. I'm still holding out hope that, come Saturday night we have a this happened outside Full Sail earlier today, and you see him get jumped from behind and somebody else ends up in the match. But I'm not holding my breath on it. I hope that's the case and that's what happens. But
maybe Redemption will show up.
Retribution?
What the fuck ever their name is, it doesn't matter. For Redemption, it doesn't matter.
Well, has
I love
Retribution?
the Dexter Loomis thing. I think that'd be great if he's healthy enough to do it.
I
mean, Redacted's probably hoping Redemption shows up.
And Dexter Loomis, if it is Dexter Loomis, it's very storyline heavy, because wasn't Loomis like the guy who helped Dream with the Undisputed Era, and now that Dream is heel and the Undisputed Era are baby faces.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going here. NXT Women's Championship match. You have Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez challenging Io Shirai for the title. Even though I'm not 100% confident in this pick, I'm gonna go with Dakota Kai to pick up the victory. I think she's been on a very fast meteoric rise here, and I'd like to see it pay off. Even though Io Shirai's title reign has been on the shorter side, I just feel like this does feel like a time where you can pull that trigger. Tim, what are we eating tonight?
I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
I got some roasted potatoes and
delicious.
And some water.
Sounds tasty.
Yep, it's a prison meal. I got no effing protein on this.
It's okay.
Hey, it's all right, man.
It is what it is.
These potatoes are delicious, though. I'm gonna eat.
Matt, who do you have here in the NXT Women's title?
I mean, I like your logic there. I just feel like the women's title in the NXT is not one that they hot potato at all. I feel like we usually see long reigns, so I don't think Io Shirai's had it long enough to take it off yet. So I don't think there's going to be a clean finish. Probably some sort of DQ, especially with Raquel Gonzalez being there. So I think that's maybe one way to take the loss, keep the belt type of thing. But yeah, I don't think we change hands just yet.
Ryan, how about you?
No, I don't think it changes hands here either. I don't think it would do much benefit to have a DQ either. I would hope that Io Shirai just tramps Dakota Kai in Io Shirai form.
Very good. Mark, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Io Shirai as well. I think it's too soon to take the belt off her, and I can see some kind of DQ maybe, or some kind of finish like that, but I think ultimately Io's keeping the title.
And Tim.
I'm gonna go Io Shirai as well. I think that the story here might be between Dakota and Raquel. Just because I know that there's been some miscommunication in that tandem, and this might be the point to spin off that and give Dakota a chance to build up Raquel Gonzalez and move Io onto either a Tegan feud or a Candice feud. We still haven't. I don't think we've gotten Io Candice yet.
No, I don't believe.
So there's the possibility of that.
And I think that's a safe one. Like I think that's a safe way to handle it. Because then you also kind of still protect Dakota as well, and the kind of push that she's been on. Let's we'll jump over the match Ryan's most looking forward to.
I was gonna say, can we save that one?
Yeah, we'll save that for the main event. We'll go next to Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher, two guys that probably should have been the fifth man. I hope Finn gets a win here. I feel like the Finn return to NXT has not been quite as fruitful as what we would have hoped. So maybe he'll get a win here and get some positive mo going. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, Jim, you'd hope for everything that you said that Finn can do a little Winsky here at a takeover. So yeah, I'm gonna go Finn Balor.
Mark.
Well, I was originally leaning towards Balor, but I think I would have given it to Thatcher just to be different.
Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to have Finn stay in NXT and be kind of that presence, then he needs to get wins. You can't have him be Tyler Breeze, come back and lose all the time. So he has to get the win for that reason.
And Tim, how about you?
I'm torn because I want to back my fellow Timothy and root for Timothy Thatcher, but I hate grapple effing wrestling. The grapple F style is not entertaining. It is definitely my two least favorite dudes in NXT, as you have Dropkick Murphy taking on grapple F Thatcher. The loser of this match is me. But the winner, I think, is going to go to the master of Thatch's Thatch Can Wrestling, Timothy Thatcher. You have to.
What the hell is even that?
I know. I think because we haven't seen much of Timothy Thatcher, and I think the last time we actually saw him in a match was when he beat Matt Riddle out of NXT. At the Thunderdome cage battle.
No, he was in one of the qualifying matches for the.
Oh yeah, he was in one of the three ways, but he didn't take the fall.
One of the three ways. But yeah, that may have been his last, because he beat Riddle, right?
Oh yeah,
he beat Riddle in the Fight Club. So yeah, he.
That's right, Fight Club.
Sure. Or whatever the hell, Fight.
Battle Dome. I don't know.
NXT Underground.
That's tomorrow.
NXT Underground. Yes.
NXT Underground. No, that's Monday nights. Whatever the hell it was called, the Cage Master,
Death,
Master Cager, whatever.
Rager in the Cager. I don't know.
Devin had Io winning the women's title match and has Finn Balor winning this one.
Was it Fight Den? What the hell was it called?
Fight
Den.
Fight
Den.
Lions.
The Fight Pit.
The Fight Pit.
There it was.
Fight
I knew
Pit.
it was Fight something.
Yeah, Fight Den.
All right. Let's go to and if you didn't watch NXT last night, and you haven't seen the hype video for this match, I mean they'll show it probably 3 times on Saturday, but this is one of the better, in my opinion, preview videos for a match. Keith Lee defending the NXT championship against Karrion Kross, of course, with Scarlett. this is such a hard match to predict because, like, I feel like you can't, or you shouldn't move the title off of Keith Lee yet, like, because he just started his reign, but in the same time, it's like, man, Karrion Kross has been on an absolute run since he came in, and they've been building him up so special and so perfect. I have Lee winning and retaining. I don't see this being a clean finish, like, because both of them are like super strong here, so I don't know what exactly will be the thing that happens, but I don't think it's going to be cut and dry. Tim.
I think Karrion Kross might win this by ref stoppage. That eye jammy with the fireball.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a good piece of business, WWE's YouTube put out their attempt at a Rocky Balboa Apollo Creed sparring match.
Oh, okay.
With Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. Empty arena, empty
like
set.
The end of Rocky 3 when they go freeze frame.
Yes, they actually do freeze frame.
Oh my god!
On a collar and elbow after like a 10-minute thing, but basically Keith asks Drew if Drew would help him knock some rust off after he got fire jammied in the eye. They talk about their history with Evolve. It's a shameless plug for Evolve being on the WWE Network.
I love them shameless plugs.
They talk about Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross, and they talk about Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, which we will talk about on Sunday. But I just don't think you cut the legs from Karrion Kross out yet, but you also can't beat Keith Lee clean.
Right.
So I think the eye is the Achilles heel.
They do. This is the summer of the eye.
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
This time we might actually get an actual eye popper right here.
Instead of a fish bobber.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention that at the top of the show. We will be live Sunday afternoon to preview SummerSlam, and I'll have a not full-on question of the week, but it'll be a question topic for the show. But yeah, we will be live Sunday afternoon. Stay tuned to our social media for the exact start time. It'll be like early mid-afternoon. Matt, your thoughts on Lee versus Kross?
Yeah, it's a tough call here because like Lee has so much momentum, you can't take the belt off of him. So, I do like the thought of having kind of the dirty finish here in some way, just to kind of keep the momentum for both of them in a way that it doesn't make Lee look weak either. So I'm interested to see how they're going to do it. I don't think Lee drops the belt. So I think it's going to be a win by DQ, something along those lines. Just anxious to see how it all plays out, just so they can keep both of them riding high.
Intern Mark.
Well, same thing everybody else is saying. That's a tough one to call. I can't see either of them losing this match, but I'm going to go with Keith Lee. I just can't see the belt coming off him yet, but we'll see. It could be another DQ type of thing, but it should be a very good match. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, this is one I feel like NXT's damned if they do and damned if they don't.
Yeah.
You're going to piss off.
They're in a corner. They're booked into a corner.
Right, you're going to piss off half of your viewing audience because it's so split. I've always said the WWE needs to strike when you have a red-hot superstar, and that's what they have with Karrion Kross. So I'm going to go with Keith Lee because I feel like the WWE will stay true to their fashion and not strike when they should, and give it and keep it on Keith Lee. So we're Keith Lee. It should be a great match, though.
Now, do we think this main events, or do we think the match we're about to predict main events?
This better goddamn main event.
This will main event.
This should main event, absolutely. All right, and let's go to the match that Ryan has been asking for, been praying for, the match that he has been looking forward to more than any match in at least in 2020. Adam Cole, Old Bay, taking on retired NFL punter Pat McAfee.
Baby!
Yeah. Here's the deal. I don't know what Pat McAfee's skill in the ring is, but if he's half as good as his promo last night on NXT, this match will be totally fine. That promo last night on NXT was a better promo than the majority of promos that we've seen, definitely in NXT, but across the board. That was real damn good. Adam Cole better fucking win this match, or Twitter will literally light itself on fire. But it was a real good promo, and it actually does have me looking forward to this match, and I did not expect to ever say that. So I will say that. But if Cole loses, Twitter dead. Ryan, we'll let you predict this last, because you've just been, I know you've been waiting, but I just want to make you hold on just a little bit longer. Intern Mark, your thoughts on Cole versus McAfee?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know a thing about Pat McAfee. I didn't know he was from the NFL. I didn't have a clue. I mean, not a clue.
The dead giveaway, Mark.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. I'm so disinterested in this match. I did see the promo, and honestly, I thought that was pretty well done as far as like celebrities go when they get involved in wrestling. So I have to go with Adam Cole. It would be an absolute shame if he didn't win. I'm not a big fan of these celebrities and these football players or basketball players or badminton players coming in and getting in a wrestling ring, but I guess we'll see what happens.
I don't remember the Rock and badminton connection, but Matt, how about you?
Give it time.
I'm not as excited about this one as Ryan is, but I
mean, who is?
Like, no one is. He really loves the celeb ingrain. So for that reason, I'm gonna pick the way I feel like Ryan would pick and say McAfee takes this one.
That's fair. Tim, how about you?
I cannot wait for this match. Like, actually, honestly, truthfully, this match is going to be a low-key banger. Pat McAfee has been training his butt off.
He's been training with Rip, right?
He's been training with Les Thatcher. Les Thatcher. Like, on his own time, way before this match even came about.
Former guest of the show, Les Thatcher.
There, see, you can't shit on him now.
That's true.
I think this match is going to be better than people think. I think it's going to steal the show. I hope I don't have to see AJ Hawk and whoever else the F he brings.
You mean the deflated corpse of AJ Hawk?
Who else was there? It was AJ Hawk.
I honestly don't even know. I was trying to figure it out, but I have no clue. I knew it was AJ Hawk, but I was like, wow, I get it. Like, when you're playing football at any position that isn't punter or kicker, your body gets inflated in ways that it's not going to when you're done.
Right.
Like when Joe Thomas retired from the Browns, he dropped like a full human being.
Same with Jeff Saturday.
Yeah. So
Holy crap.
I get it, but like when I saw AJ Hawk come out, I was like, is he sick? But then I was like, oh, he just doesn't play football.
Yeah,
anymore.
he's sick of football.
Yeah,
but either way, Adam Cole wins. And I'd really like to see more of McAfee if the match turns out to be okay.
If the match turns out to be okay, I think you will see more of him.
It was Darius Butler with him.
Okay.
There was two other guys with him. There was three.
Yeah,
wasn't the one just like the guy on his podcast?
I think maybe it was
AJ Hawk.
Yeah, I don't know who the fourth guy was, because I know some people were saying that there was 2 NFL guys, and then like I don't know if just one of his buddies or
Hawk and Butler were the NFL guys. I thought the other guy was just like
his
friend.
podcast. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
One of
sense.
his- one
That
of his
makes
shows.
sense. That makes perfect sense.
All
right,
right,
let's
Ryan.
stop wasting time. Let Ryan.
Yeah, I know. He's been waiting. He's been holding back. He's been waiting. He's so excited for this.
First of all, what a first-round draft pick selected 5th overall, AJ Hawk, is doing with shitty 7th-round pick Pat McAfee. I'll never freaking know.
High, though.
I will never freaking know what the connection is there. Very strange. I don't like that at all.
The NFL draft is a work.
Pisses me off.
Obviously,
Right off.
the guy that hosts a podcast and has been doing like College Game Day can talk well on a microphone. Nobody should be surprised that this guy can cut a promo. Shouldn't be. We saw it on his podcast already with Adam Cole. Shouldn't be surprised. Pisses me off. Stupid.
Are you
so
gonna
frustrating.
Are you gonna
because
make?
Goddamn Pat McAfee is gonna win this match. It's gonna happen. The guy had 7 illustrious years in the NFL as a fucking punter. Get the hell out of here. Unreal. It's unreal. It is disgusting. The only way that Pat McAfee should be on this card is if he is replacing Velveteen Dream in that match. Then I'd let it go. That is the only way.
Well, I mean, after he beats Cole,
I'm not
he could enter it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said after he beats Adam Cole, he might enter the ladder.
He's going to beat Adam Cole. He's absolutely going to beat Adam Cole. It's going to be disgusting at the end of the night when Pat McAfee has a W on a start. And Tim, I'm not surprised somebody like you would like this match. Somebody of the background of the WCW that's had every celebrity ever. Karl Malone. I'll bring up Jay Leno again. Dennis Rodman. Of course you want to see this. Next we can have goddamn Bozo the Clown in a wrestling ring and really call it a circus.
Like the WWF, like the WWF ain't done celebrities throughout the history of their shit.
Bam Bam LT main evented WrestleMania, right?
Over Shawn Diesel.
Yeah, like
with Jenny McCarthy and effing Pam Anderson. The same WrestleMania.
I'm not the one saying I want to see this match so damn bad. How good was that LT match with Bam Bam?
Actually,
everybody was like, yeah, this definitely should have main evented WrestleMania. Everybody says that.
No. Didn't say.
There might be some guys that like Haas wrestling that would put that higher than most, but nobody thinks it belonged where it belonged on a WrestleMania card, let alone Mania at all.
I think it's a Mania match. I don't think it's the main event.
I think you're a Mania match. Event.
There's very few things that should bump a World WWE Championship off the main event of WrestleMania. Bam Bam LT is not one of those things. Not one of those things.
They're both Pennsylvania boys, so there's that.
The McAfee and Cole.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
McAfee is, but that's where stupid Pat McAfee from Plum, Pennsylvania. Who's even fucking heard of Plum? Get the hell out of here.
Oh, Plum, PA's beautiful this time of year.
This time of year, sure, but come on.
I mean, McAfee went full heel when his fucking headshot for the match has him wearing a fucking Pittsburgh Penguins t-shirt. So right there, I want to see Adam Cole punt his head off, but it should be
pick
fun.
number 222 in the NFL draft. Get out of here. Unreal.
I'd like to know, actually, why this match is so disgusting to you.
You'll see.
Why? We'll see.
You'll see, Smokey.
Okay. Oh,
so if it's actually a decent match, Ryan, will you come on?
The Swami over here fucking telling us it's gonna shit.
Right. Will you eat crow if the match turns out to be good?
Absolutely not.
At least you're true. Hey, for the brand, right? For the
Why
brand.
would I?
I mean, why not?
If I taped your eyes open and made you watch a bunch of Chronic matches, and there was a decent Chronic match, Jim, would you come on here and be like, "Well, that match was okay"? You wouldn't.
I absolutely would. Why wouldn't
Get
I?
out of here. You know what? You're pissing me off. I'm gonna get off. I'm pissed. This is unreal.
I've never.
My blood pressure's shot.
I've never not admitted to being wrong here. I'm an idiot.
My eyes twitching.
Are you gonna be okay? Did you pop?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's pre-grade NXT Takeover. What do we think it's going to be? Ryan, we know it's going to be an A+ because of this match, so I don't even have to ask you, right?
C+.
C+.
It's a C+. I'd have given it a B+ if Pat McAfee wasn't on the show.
Okay. Intern Mark, how about you?
Well, I'll tell you what, didn't watch Takeover yet that was anything less than a B+, in my opinion. So I'm going to stick with B+.
Now, Mark, have you watched NXT Takeover with Pat McAfee yet?
That's true. God, I hope this is the one that breaks the grading system for me. I really do. We'll see what happens.
Matt, how about you?
Pat McAfee.
I'm gonna go with a B. Played a little safe here, but I don't think that this match will be as bad as we think it is going to be.
Don't we this? This is Ryan's the one that's really.
I'm speaking on the. I mean, both Ryan and Mark were dropping it a full letter grade already just for McAfee being on the card. So
that's still only 2/5.
That's where the we comes. I mean, that's majority rules.
No, it's not. That's 40%. That doesn't get a passing grade.
That's 60%.
Oh, are you're dropping it a letter grade too?
Well, no, but I'm saying that I don't think the match will be good, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as we're like making it out to be. I don't think that Pat McAfee is going to drag it down a full letter grade, but I don't think it's going to be like a great match.
Okay. Tim, how about you?
I might blaspheme here just a little bit.
Uh-oh.
If McAfee and Cole knock it out of the park, this is an A+ takeover.
Okay.
A+. Because there's
don't have to
no
worry
way
about that,
there's
so
no way Velveteen Dream's winning at all. There's no way, 0% chance that Velveteen Dream
Don't
wins.
say that.
Don't.
Not on this podcast.
0%. 0% chance.
Well, that's it. It's done now. Velveteen Dream is winning. You've done it. You've fucked up now.
So if Velveteen Dream wins and McAfee beats Cole and just an absolute shit match, is this an F?
It's a C.
Glad you're still with us, Tim. I'm gonna go B+ here. I don't envision them bringing the in your house set back out for this. If they do, like I said, it'll be an A+. If they bring that out again, if they bring any pay-per-view that brings the in your house set back out,
If they recycle the WrestleMania XXX logo for NXT, I'm gonna scream.
but otherwise, I'll go B+. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the North American title match, and I think this match will be better than some of us expect it to be, but there's still a degree of concern there for me. Devin predicts an A. Jason says it'll be a Plum Burrow A.
Unreal.
So is that like a Lancaster D?
It's a soft C-.
Yeah, I don't know. And my caps are just shit in the bed tonight. So fuck you, Matt, and your name tag that nobody can see. All right. I think that's gonna do it for NXT. Yeah, for the NXT prediction, that's going to do it. Unless we want to, I was going to ask, like, what, because it is the 30th Takeover. Real quick, do you have a match from Takeovers that stands out as your number one Takeover match ever to this point? To me, I think is Sasha Bailey, but like,
yeah,
from Brooklyn. I think like low key, like good place is the Andrade, and was it Andrade Gargano from Philly? Like, I think that match is just ridiculously good. But I'd go Bailey Sasha from Brooklyn.
Was that the Iron Woman match?
Yes.
That was the one that popped in my mind. Was Iron Woman. I'd love to go back and watch some of the very first few NXT takeovers, like rival things of that nature. Because with like Cesaro on them, there was some really good matches. Tim, don't shake your head.
Technically, those aren't takeovers.
Cesaro in NXT, huh?
Technically, those aren't takeovers.
Are they counted within the 30?
No.
Oh, so the number started with Takeover 1.
Yes.
So, oh wow, I didn't know that. All right, so fuck me then. Never mind.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that.
We've had that block of NXT shows, and then starting from the first ever Takeover, we've done 30 already.
Yeah, because there was the first Takeover was May 2014. Then there was Fatal 4-Way, Our Evolution, Rival, Unstoppable, Brooklyn, Respect, London, Dallas, The End, Brooklyn 2, Toronto, San Antonio, Orlando, Chicago, Brooklyn 3, War Games, Philly, New Orleans, Chicago 2, Brooklyn 4, War Games again, Phoenix, New York, 25, Toronto, War Games again, Portland, In Your House, Triple X.
Wow. There it is.
Wow.
Wow. So yeah, first Takeover.
Wow.
The very first Takeover card was Adam Rose versus Camacho. The Ascension defeating El Local and Kalisto. Tyler Breeze versus Sami Zayn. Natalya versus Charlotte. And Tyson Kidd versus Adrian Neville.
Thank you.
Wow, maybe I don't want to back up to them.
It's still crazy to me, like when Adam Rose was at Legacy, and Mark, you missed it. A Sasquatch and a 3-count Thursday T-shirt was in his party. I don't know where you were, but
they were selling whoopie pies at the concession stand there.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And there was a long line. By the time I got back in, I barely caught the end of the match. I didn't see a Sasquatch.
Oh, it was glorious.
There was a special order for Hodecker's celery whoopie pies that he was just he was ready for it. What would you rather eat? A Hodecker celery whoopie pie or watch Pat McAfee beat that ass of Adam Cole? Would you rather?
I'll eat a case of whoopie pies.
Yeah, bring on the whoopie pies. Hodecker's
Give me all the whoopie pie juice.
At least whoopie pie has the cream filling that would be sweet.
Well, that's the celery taste.
Right. Bring them on.
The cream is the celery. It's a chocolate.
That'd be delicious.
It's a chocolatey top with Hodecker celery flavored cream.
I was gonna say it's celery cake with like a water flavored cream.
As long as it's Hodecker's, it's going to be good. When you take Hodecker's celery and Miriam's pies and you put them together, you got yourself a
That's the Mega Powers.
That's a winning recipe.
That's the Mega
I'm gonna
Powers.
talk to Vernon.
That's
It's like the Mega. I'm going to bring Miriam herself out and Mrs. Hodecker right in the middle of Rick's Market. I'm going to have them shake hands. That's going to be great.
I can't wait.
It's like when the Mega Powers
Jim gets the number one pick in the Thanksgiving draft. Turkey and finishes last.
It's still the stupidest. That is the most bullshit crap.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
I remember that.
I mean, everybody wants to do the dishes, right?
They gotta get done, okay?
You don't have a dishwasher. You can just put them motherfuckers.
can't put all the shit from Thanksgiving in it. You can't put a roasting pan in there. You can't put the big serving plate in
Oh,
there.
Jim, you buy the aluminum roasting pan and
You throw that
out.
roasting
Thank
pan
you.
away, Hoss.
Thank you. Someone's over here trying to
Good
reduce,
shit for
reuse,
company. You bring
recycle.
out the good shit for family and for company. You know, if I make a turkey dinner on a Thursday night in July, you get the throwaways.
Look, I
You
love
bring
my
out the good
family.
stuff.
I love my family. They're getting a throwaway roasting pan.
Dude, getting that good Reynolds.
Are you
They're not
serving
gonna
that
care.
shit
Little
out of the
turkey's good.
roasting pan, Jim?
Well, no, but I'm saying you can't. You're gonna roast it in a roasting pan. You can't put that in the dishwasher.
You're unreal.
Yeah.
No, what's unreal is that I came in last place in that goddamn draft.
Celery.
It's horse
Oh,
shit.
The hash.
Mark didn't even have a protein until the very last round.
Corning hen?
Game
That's
head?
right.
A fucking game
Cornish
head.
game head came in.
It's horse shit.
Coming in
That's
hot.
Horse shit. All right. We're moving on. We're moving on. Christ.
Oh, I didn't even get to say my favorite.
Oh, yeah, me either.
Go ahead. What's your favorite match?
I was gonna say that beyond the Sasha Bailey one, I really.
What's your favorite match?
Love.
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
You need to just cut the end off. Like, what's your favorite match?
Who? I know. I should do that.
What's your
I'm
favorite?
gonna write that down.
Anyway, it was the War Games with Undisputed Era where we had the surprise entrant of Kevin Owens. Would have been a very close second for me.
Very good. Who didn't? Did anybody else not give that? I lost track. Tim, go ahead.
Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn.
No, Jason. No, I'm deleting that comment. That is not.
That's very close to my heart, my brother Owen.
I've never.
That's
that
very
is the
tough.
First time I've ever deleted a comment in the live video. That's bad taste.
My lovable brother Owen.
That's bad taste.
He didn't deserve that.
Yeah,
I missed it.
Yeah, what was the comment?
I'm gonna choose. I'll message you guys. I will not repeat it on air. If Tim, I know you saw it.
I still see it. I still see it.
Oh, it didn't delete.
I don't think so.
Well, it deleted on my end. Maybe it just doesn't disappear on your live feed.
Either way,
if you want to repeat it, you can.
No,
maybe
I don't want to, but I thought it was kind of funny.
Who said that?
I just can't leave that on. That's
Tragedy plus time equals comedy. He equated. So I will roundabout way say it.
Okay.
He equated our show going off the rails to Over the Edge 1998.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. All right, let's move on here. We did have
wrong.
We did have a
Splat. Didn't give a match yet.
Question of the week.
We had a shut up, Ryan.
I didn't give a match yet.
Question.
He didn't do it. It's off the rails.
I didn't do it.
Do what?
Send the message again.
I didn't give a match.
Oh, Mark, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, voice is getting bad.
This is like the episode. It's like the episode we did where Jim played the Bob sound bite like 300 times.
What sound effect?
Bob.
That one?
Oh man.
I'm sorry, Mark. What was your match?
That's all right. I was going to go with the War Games match with the Undisputed Era and the Viking Raiders, or I forget what they were called at the time. Was it Viking Raiders?
Kennedy.
War Raiders. But that was a good one. Kevin Owens and Pete Dunne, I believe it was. That would be my favorite. But a close second would be the Vaughn Villains with Blue Pants against Enzo and Cass with Carmella. Just because Blue Pants was on it.
I gotta love that Blue Pants. Much better than Librarian. But all right. Jesus. Let's move on. We had a
3 count. Question of the week.
this week, and since it is SummerSlam week,
SummerSlam.
Don't worry, I have a special surprise for Sunday's show, so we'll get to that, Tim. But what is the best match in the history of the Summerfest, the SummerSlam? Ryan, we'll go to you first here.
Adam Cole, Pat McAfee.
Mark, how about you?
Oh boy, I don't know if I can top that one. I don't want to pick the same favorite match.
How could you?
This is the Summerfest matches. Boy, I'll tell you what. That was Bret Hart and Owen Hart in a cage. I thought was really good. That was when Owen kicked his leg out from under his leg. Now, that was Royal
Well, it
Rumble.
eventually, it led to that. It was later that year.
But I think that was very good. And Bret Hart against Undertaker with Michaels as the referee. That was right up there as one of my favorites.
Matt, how about you?
I think when we did this one with like our favorite from the Big Four, I had said Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. So I'm gonna stay with that.
Tim?
Unsanctioned.
Well, because WWE never uses celebrities at all in major pay-per-views, I'm going to go with Stardust and King Barrett versus Neville and Stephen Amell. Because that never happened. That's my favorite SummerSlam match, Ryan.
It's a great SummerSlam.
He's an actor. He's not even an athlete. He's an actor. He plays a superhero that you obviously don't give a shit about.
That's true.
There you go. At least you watch football and you know what the hell a punter is. But if I ask you what the fuck a Green Arrow is, you ain't got nothing for me, Chief.
I do.
What's a Green Arrow?
Green Arrow knowledge.
Uh-huh.
The Green Arrow is a superhero.
Uh-huh.
From the DC land, not Marvel, the other ones.
Uh-huh.
The DC folks.
Boy, he's working.
He's on there.
He wears the mask. He looks like a Ninja Turtle, with like the way they would wear the little eye thing. He's not a turtle himself.
Uh-huh.
But, not a turtle. And he uses a bow and arrow.
Boy, nice.
Sorry, we're out of time.
Nice.
What color did you say?
Green.
Very nice.
This guy, he knows everything. Oh my God.
I
They
will.
were roommates.
Devin asked, can we have a Ryan versus Tim in a wrestling match? Yeah, that'll be for Patreon subscribers.
There ain't enough. There ain't enough baby oil in Lancaster.
I haven't
I
paid
know
to see
hook
that
up
match.
to Jello. I don't give a shit.
Oh my.
I'm gonna go with Brett and Bulldog at 92. That match is spectacular.
Look at the puppers.
I will also add in it was Styles and Cena, I think in 16, was really good. Really, really good. Like that was like the year of like AJ Styles just having every like great match in the world. It was really good. And we did have some responses. Rodney had the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. Charlie and Chad both had Brett versus Bulldog. Nick had that as well. Devin had Daniel Bryan versus John Cena in 2013. So some responses there from the listeners. We thank you again always for responding to the question, the 3 count question of the week. We will have a question of some form for Sunday's SummerSlam show. I'll try and get that posted tomorrow. Yes, Ryan.
would the appropriate question be, what is your favorite SummerSlam of all time?
Ooh, let me.
Because I loved SummerSlam 1990. I watched the hell out of it. I had it on cassette, and that's probably why. But I don't think a single match on there would ever make a top 10 list of SummerSlam matches.
I'm writing that down. That's a good one.
I mean, Earthquake Hogan, not a great match. Warrior Rude in a cage was okay.
I mean, it was fun. It wasn't a great match.
Right, it was a fun pay-per-view, top to bottom. I really enjoyed it.
Match on that card was the Hart Foundation and Demolition.
Demolition, probably, yeah.
And Tim, I think because you guys had just covered this on Final Wrestling Place, or talked about that, like that was the longest match on the card, and even that was under 20, right?
Yeah,
that was under 15.
Like, and it was a 2 out of 3 falls that went to 3 falls. Obviously, it always goes to 3 falls.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like there was like
it was the longest match, and it was barely 15 minutes. Yeah,
it was like Intercontinental title match, like Tornado and Perfect was what, 6 at most.
Tornado Perfect was 5:15.
Yeah, like the opener, the opener wasn't long when Michaels got his knee dinged. Obviously, you had like the big storyline of the show was the Dusty Road Sapphire stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole way through.
I gotta find Sapphire. Yeah, that's a great.
The Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers weren't on that card.
Mm-mm.
They were not.
They were not.
Maybe Andre was dead by then. I think he died in 90.
I don't think he wasn't dead, but he wasn't
not
WWEing at that point. Because that was
just bummed that we didn't see
Jesus,
Bad News
Jason.
Brown. I missed it again. I'm just bummed that we didn't see Bad News Brown Sewer Rats.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was.
Oh, that's right. With Jake the Snake, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, it was a fun SummerSlam. But yeah, that'll be the question for Sunday. So look for that dropping tomorrow. All right, let's move on here. Obviously, the big news of the week, and this wasn't even known, I don't think, but when we were on the air last week, because we were still questioning where SummerSlam was going to be. But now we know, of course, it's going to be at the Amway Center in Orlando. Debuting officially tomorrow, WWE ThunderDome. State-of-the-art video boards, pyrotechnics, lasers, cutting-edge graphics, and drone cameras will take WWE, this is from the press release, fans' viewing experience to an unprecedented level starting this Friday on Fox, kicking off SummerSlam weekend. Kevin Dunn said WWE has a long history of producing the greatest live spectacles in sports entertainment, yet nothing compares to what we are creating with WWE ThunderDome. This structure will enable us to deliver an immersive atmosphere and generating more excitement amongst the millions of fans watching our programming around the world. With the debut of ThunderDome, WWE will take residency at Amway Center in Orlando, virtually bring fans into the arena via live video on massive LED boards in conjunction with the famous group and its proprietary technology for every Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view event. Registration had been open and it has since closed for SmackDown tomorrow. It'll reopen for SummerSlam. It'll reopen for each show in the days leading up to it. Also in the press release that their Amway Center residency will continue for the foreseeable future. Will be produced on closed sets with only essential personnel in attendance. WWE will continue to administer its health and safety protocols for talent, crew, and employees in conjunction with each production, including testing for COVID-19, social distancing, and wearing masks. So let's start with the name. What do you guys think of the name, the ThunderDome? Ryan?
I gotta name it something.
Fair. Mark?
It kind of reminds me of the Laser Dome we have here locally, which is a fun place. But didn't WCW have a ThunderDome when they had these cages stacked on top of each other?
So that was Thunder Cage.
Okay.
Thunder Cage. Okay. Hey, yeah, but like Ryan said, they got to name it something. So
Got to
why not?
trademark it. Got to
ThunderDome
probably
it
be
is.
merchandise for it. Matt, thoughts on the name?
It's fine. Surprised they're allowed to use it, but if they are, then you might as well.
Tim?
It is Bruce Pritchardian. Like, hey, you know, it'd be really cool if we named this shit after Mad Max in '85. Because we're doing underground fight clubs on Raw, let's just take everything from the '80s and let's do
Mitch,
Thunderdome.
I got an idea.
Hey, now, I got an idea. What we're going to do is we're going to recreate the SmackDown intro. You know, that shit we did on computer? And we're going to make it real.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, I didn't even think that they were going to name it something, and then when they did, I was like, makes sense. Okay, sure. Now, you know, if you've been on social media, you've seen some of the pictures. I think it looks pretty cool for what they're doing. I mean, obviously they could have stayed they just could have stayed in the performance center and done that until COVID fucked off and you know, maybe done boats, beaches, top of the headquarters for pay-per-views, but they're going this route. I think it's cool. I think it's worked out pretty well so far. For the NBA, I know the NHL's done a little bit of live fan stuff, but the NBA, this is really kind of taking the model from the NBA and using it. And I think it's cool. I really do. I think it's a cool thing they're doing.
I have been waiting to work in a multi-level sales pitch to you guys for a long time. So I'm glad Amway was brought up another way. But boy, do I have an investment opportunity for you guys.
How many Amway commercials are we going to see starting tomorrow night on SmackDown on Fox?
37.
I didn't know Amway was still a thing.
To be 100% honest, I'm not entirely sure what Amway is. So if you're even aware of what it is, then you're one step ahead of Big Jim.
I sat in two, I think it was 2 different Amway meetings back in the day.
It's like pyramid schemish, I think. Multi-level selling,
absolutely.
everybody makes some money above you.
So everybody you went to high school with works for Amway.
That thing, yeah. Come on in. I'd just sit through a meeting, things like that. Yeah.
Gotta love that.
You know, honestly, it was almost like online buying before online and internet was even really a thing or a big thing.
Their revenue was $8.8 billion back in 2018. Shocking.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, did anybody else get registered? I know I got registered, so I'm going to be attempting to make it onto SmackDown tomorrow. Did anybody else get registered?
I'm registered.
You registered? Anybody else?
I'm registered. I'm ready for November 3rd.
We're all fucking ready for November 3rd.
There's no wrestling on that Tuesday. There's nothing going on at the Thunderdome.
I mean, yeah, definitely not in the Thunderdome.
Impact's on.
Impact's on, but you don't watch that.
Dark? AEW Dark?
I don't watch YouTube wrestling.
I was going to say NWA, but you got me there.
Yeah.
That's
power outage over there.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. Power outage. So, Devin, you said you got registered, but you're not going to attempt to jump in? Like,
that's definitely smart.
But yeah, I'm curious to see how this is pulled off and actually see it on show as opposed to on Ryan Satin's Twitter feed. Yes, Ryan.
I hope to God, Jim, that you make it through.
Okay.
And they sit your ugly mug right next to Brock Lesnar guy and Frank the fucking clown.
Hey, as long as I don't actually have to be next to them, like obviously they're not in my house.
Oh, we're taking pictures of that and making that our banner on all social media platforms.
Hey,
forever.
Sure. If that happens, by all means, that'll be our banner forever.
I'm gonna double down and I'm gonna take that image and I'm gonna make it a shirt and you're getting it for Christmas, bud.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Ryan, did you end up picking up that Orton shirt that was on 40% off the other day?
It's on back order. Sorry.
Oh, man, that sucks. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's
It's
a
because
hot
I bought
seller.
them all for you for Christmas. I just went ape shit and bought a bunch of them. But now I have seen some people like speculating now that they're moving to a to a bigger arena with the bigger setup and you can, I guess, theoretically more safely distance, and the testing protocols are probably going to be stepped up a little bit, that you may see people like Brock Lesnar potentially return, Roman Reigns potentially return. I still don't think Roman's coming back until we're more in the clear on this thing, especially in Florida. But do you think that this opens the door to, because the shows are going to be live, so you won't run the risk of having leaks either. But do you think that there's a potential for returns, surprises, things like that, like maybe a Brock Lesnar type return, now that you're somewhat normal-ish to what you can be right now?
I don't know, but I think Ryan's a liar. I think you can get that Randy Orton shirt right now on WWE Shop. Yeah, it's actually you wouldn't believe it, but it's available in every size.
Really?
Right now.
Right
they must have
now.
just got a new run in. Hallelujah.
There you go.
There you go. When you're buying up your daily new Orton shirt, you can grab the one that was back ordered.
I'll be sure to you'll also have to sit tight, because as soon as Pat McAfee beats Adam Cole, they're just gonna have to redo this one for Pat.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm surprised that they didn't Rusev him on this run of shirts and just didn't print enough. I'm really shocked that didn't happen.
Oh no, actually I think they have an overabundance.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those ones that makes it all the way down to like $5.99 on the clearance sale.
Boy, they don't even do them very much anymore. Yeah.
Every so often you get that 60% off off of clearance. Just to crap, we just got way too many shirts built up back here.
Right
there now.
There's one shirt right now that is $4.95 on clearance.
Kurt Hawkins.
It is Jinder Mahal in a woman's shirt.
Oh.
Jinder Mahal's wearing a women's shirt.
I think you misunderstood, Mark. But no, do you think that this opens the door for any returns potentially? Like,
I don't know, man. Like,
what do you want Lou to say? I know somebody that'll drop by. What do you want him to say, Jim?
I'm just asking a question, Ryan.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good question then.
No, I have no idea. I'm not sure if this will open up any debuts or anything. It depends. I mean, it's interesting to see they're moving to the Amway Center at the same time that NXT or AEW is saying that starting on the 27th.
Yeah, next Thursday.
They can do 10% capacity at Daly's Place. I'm curious if that's because it's an outdoor arena.
One would hope. I mean, my brother lives in Florida. They don't seem to have a lot of rules down there, though, either. So
it's the Wild West.
That governor's dumber than a sack of nails. But
if AEW is doing 10%, then it'll look like a TNA show. Is that right?
Well,
close, yeah.
Is 10% much more than the people they've been bringing in for the past month anyway?
I think those have been like not paid for.
No, they haven't been paid, but they've been bringing in people for the last like month or so. So like I don't know how many people Daly's Place sits, but like they've been the crowds that they have brought in have been like up in the top portions of the amphitheater. away from where the talent is. Like I don't think like they're getting anywhere close to the talent. But even at 10-15%, I don't know what number that is.
Daly's Place is 5,500 capacity.
So 550 people.
Right.
So they probably haven't had 500, but I mean they've had especially last week they had a decent size because
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they've even had over 100 people at this point?
Last week was the most they've had, and I think the reported number was like around 100. So I guess it is considerably more. But like, is this like? And I know I tongue in cheek joked about it on Twitter, but like, this like, I don't think this is very smart, right? Like,
it's tough to say, man. Like
I get it. I get it's outdoors. I get they're going to try to do their best to, and at some point, I get it. Like somebody's going to have to test the water. Somebody at some point is going to have to be the one that says, you know what, we're going to try this. I mean, the NFL's going to try it this year. The SEC is going to try it this year. In the fall, they're going to go up to 25% capacity reportedly. But like, I just like, does AEW know they're in Florida? Do they are they aware of that? like, maybe if you were in Montana or something, maybe 10%, 15%, but it just feels like a bad idea.
I think it's because it's outdoors. Like that's the only reason they're able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Because if it was indoors, they couldn't. Like I know this past weekend on Friday, I was actually at the Mahoning Drive-In for live wrestling.
Right.
And there was like 500-600 people there, but it's spread out at a drive-in theater. And
that's a little different too.
Yeah. And like the wrestlers, there was plenty, there was ringside, but it was standing room only. And it was everybody standing in the grass.
How did they do that? Did they like have a hard cam that they broadcast up on the screen?
No, so they had a hard cam shoot. They used the screen as like a backdrop.
Okay.
For the shots. But basically if you were there for the wrestling, you like had to walk up to the ring or be socially distant. And there was plenty of space.
Sure.
But also all of the wrestling, the commentary was patched in through the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you could hear it. You could hear live commentary.
Yeah, and I mean, like Live Nation has they're the comedians have been doing these drive-in concerts, but like Live Nation and like WMMR have been doing like a series of concerts at like Citizens Bank in the parking lot.
Right.
But it's a drive-in thing. Like you have to you stay at your car and you have to listen through your radio and whatever. But like to me, that feels so much different than like, and this isn't like me pointing the finger at AEW. It just I like this is overly cautious Big Jim going, this feels like a bad idea.
I think this is maybe a little too, not to discredit you, but I think 500 might be like the sweet spot. I think for an outdoor venue, you could probably get away with it and be social. Because the trick is, if you're socially distanced, you're wearing a mask, and you're minding your P's and Q's, like, that should be enough. Like, because you're not going to be on top of each other. The only people that'll be near each other are people who come together in a party. So
Sure.
You were already not socially distancing before that. So I think that it makes sense. Especially, again, because it's an outdoor arena. Yeah. But if it were indoors, like, I don't see WWE doing this at the Amway Center. And it really depends on, like, the level of, like, infrastructure that AEW would have at the building. Like, are they enforcing masks? Are they promoting social distancing? Are they promoting, like, are they hand sanitizer available? Is there any interaction between the fans and the wrestlers? Because the wrestlers are being tested, but I don't think the fans are.
No, and from what it sounds like, the fans that are buying tickets are going to be like, so like we've seen the shots at Daly's place. There's like multiple levels,
like the upper risers
of seating. Like I don't think that the lowest level is going to have any fans.
Right.
Like I think it's more the second and third tiers up, which again, you're smart enough to protect yourself. And I mean, if I'm a fan, I don't want to be anywhere close to COVID God Chris Jericho anyway. So, you know, that it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm we won't see it live next week because they're going to be on the same time that we're on. But I'm curious to see how it works out. I sincerely hope that it all goes smoothly and everybody's, you know, safe and everything. Because again, at some point, that door has to be open at some point. So you start with, you know, 500 next week, and then you see what the following week brings after that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Thunderdome and all of this. Like I think it's I think it's a cool thing. You know, like I said, the NBA did it, and it's you're using technology the way it's never been used before, and you're steering into the skid of what has been just such a weird freaking year. Jason said will they temperature test fans when they scan the I hope so. I would assume, but again, I mean,
I don't even think it's a good test anymore. I mean,
no,
we're looking at a ton of people that are asymptomatic. That a fever test isn't going to even start to cover your bases.
Well, and also too, the thing I discovered, because when we were able to visit my grandma at the nursing home, in the days leading up to when she passed, they, you know, you had to sign a form saying you weren't exposed to anybody, whatever, and then they did like the temperature check on your forehead. But like we were just standing outside where it was 100 degrees, and like that's not I don't think a true indicator of what your actual body temperature is either. So so they might be doing it. Jason, I honestly don't know.
Real quick numbers in Florida, and it's kind of unfortunate that today's the day that we're making talking about it. Florida just rolled over 10,000 deaths, 117 new deaths reported since yesterday. 4,605 new cases reported since yesterday in Florida.
Ooh.
So still definitely rolling right through Florida. 4,000 new cases daily. A total of 588,000 plus cases in Florida. So it doesn't seem to be very controlled right now in the old Sunshine State.
Yeah, definitely a bad situation down there. Probably one of the worst states at this point. All right, a couple of news items. This is something, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this one because it is relatively on the older side. It was, I think, over the weekend, but it was Dave Meltzer, I guess, had on last week's Observer had commented that, quote, virtually every WWE superstar had contacted AEW, with the exception of like Roman Reigns, who we know isn't going anywhere. Like, to me, like I kind of sniffed bullshit from the word go on this. Like, here's the thing, like we know, because I think he admitted to doing it, like Orton contacted them basically to leverage when his contract. So like I think there's a couple of things at play here. There's those who they're not going to contact them, period. I think, like, you know, your Cena's, your Reigns's, your Charlotte Flairs. There's a handful that just aren't going there. There's some that are, and I think there like some that are contacting because they know that you can probably figure it out. They're close to the chopping block, or they're not happy. They know they're not going to resign. And then there's those like Randy Orton. So like, even if quote unquote a majority like contacted them, like it to me, it was just like a cheap headline, because people I think are going to use no different than back in the the Attitude Era, where you can use the competition for leverage. Like, it's smart business. There, like, to me, it was like there was no way it was virtually everybody.
I don't know any industry that wouldn't have this. Like if you are in office space work, you contact other. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Ric Flair, WCW guy, was in WWE, was in TNA. Hogan, WCW. I mean, it's not a big. Why are we making a big deal out of this? It doesn't make sense at all to me to even care about this.
And also, you got to think there may be like an asterisk involved. Like, what exactly constitutes reaching out to AEW? Is that a talent reaching out to a former WWE talent at AEW saying, hey, I saw your match, that was really cool? Or like checking up on somebody? Like, there's connections across the aisle between both sides. Like,
right, when Adam Cole, baby, texts Britt Baker, is that NXT superstar contacting AEW?
Or Big Swole and Cedric Alexander, like
Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona.
Like, like the list goes on and on. Like, does it count the Instagram interaction that Johnny Gargano and Chris Jericho had? Because Johnny Gargano came up with the Wednesday night, and Jericho was like, "Yo, I want to steal that."
Yeah, like, you know, it just, you know, it got a lot of people riled up. I was curious to see any of your guys' thoughts on it, and glad to see that everybody's kind of on the same page that I was.
It's weak sauce.
Jay says the only WWE star they care to totally lock up and not send to AEW is obviously Pat McAfee, because the rest don't matter.
So true.
So true. Obviously, the news breaking this week that longtime WWE host, interviewer, and announcer Renee Young has reportedly told the company she is leaving. According to PW Insider, she gave her notice, but it's unknown when her last date with the company will be. She signed with the WWE in 2012 after making a name for herself. WWE recap show called Aftermath on the Score television network in Canada. It was reported that WWE and Fox had planned to make her the head of their programming on Fox and FS1. She was obviously the host of Backstage. This obviously got derailed with the pandemic and the cancellation of WWE Backstage. When I saw this, it's a bummer because I think she's ridiculously talented. Like with everything that she's done. I mean, she's been a commentator, she's been a host, she's been a backstage interviewer. But at the same time, I also wasn't terribly surprised that she's leaving. I think wherever she lands, and I think it's more because obviously the reaction initially for people is like, she's going to AEW, she's going to AEW. I'm like, I think she's going somewhere in the sports world. And I'm not just doing that as like, you know, WWE super fan taking a shot at AEW. I don't think she's going there. What's the snark there, Ryan?
No snark. I had my wrist just locked up.
Oh, overworked, I guess. But yeah, I don't think she ends up in AEW. I think she's going to end up ESPN, something like that, a sports. Any thoughts, Ryan?
And if she is, then Jim will disown her the day she signs that contract.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I mean, why would I endorse anybody going to AEW? Right?
He has the who the hell is this ready for the day he announces that news, or we announce it because he won't mention.
What the hell is this?
I don't think she goes into the sports world. I think she may go into like a different medium. I don't know what she could get into. Because I just don't think she has like the background for sports. Which is tough to say. I mean, they're talking about bringing back the G4 network, G4 TV.
Okay.
Which is a nerdy video game pop culture channel in 2021. Make her the female face of that. I really think she can go wherever she wants. She's adventuring out into other things. She has her own podcast that's been separate from WWE for quite some time. She's got her cookbook coming out. Selfishly, I wish she would stick around because I've been the biggest fan of Renee Young since the beginning. And her legacy for WWE will stick around for a while because there's just there's probably not going to be another female to do what she did in the company and really try to push the boundaries like she did. Like, you gotta think she did Unfiltered. She did, which was like a shoot style kind of behind the scenes look at wrestlers that got canceled. She did Backstage, which was dope. She was commentator, backstage interviewer. She was like the poster child for every pre-pay-per-view panel. Like, she's the blueprint for it. And we wouldn't have the sort of structure we have now if we didn't have Renee Young's professionalism at the start. I heard there was a date of like after SummerSlam, like SummerSlam might be her last date.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna go out, I mean, the second or third, depending how you look at it, biggest pay-per-view of the year, feels like a great show to end on. But yeah, it's a bummer, and obviously it's a bummer. I don't know what like the long-term like plans were with Fox and FS1 with like Backstage and if they were going to do anything else from that in that kind of realm. Like I didn't watch it every week, but I enjoyed Backstage when I watched it. Like I thought it was a really different way to approach like a wrestling show, like a wrestling themed show. But obviously, with everything that's gone on, and we've seen regional sports networks cutting staff nationwide and stuff like that. Like it's an unfortunate, reaction to everything that's gone on. And any other thoughts about Renee Young?
I mean, what she did with the post shows, talking smack, Raw talk, I think was just, we saw some really, really cool moments. I think of like the Miz reaction, and the Daniel Bryan thing. I think, was really, she was there. I mean, she just shattered ceilings. We've used to seeing a woman, kind of the backstage between two hulking men, be like the small, petite talking point. And she just shattered that mold. It's going to be weird to like not hear, or have heard like Renee Young as commentary. Kind of opening the door for Beth Phoenix to do what she's done. So yeah, it's a shame to have to lose such a female in that role. Something that I can't ever recall anybody being that close to, other than like a backstage interview or things of that nature. So yeah, I hope she stays in wrestling because I think she has a really, really good knack for it. I don't think she has a ton of sports experience, like coach or something like that. But if she goes the sports route, I feel like she will always end up in pro wrestling anyway.
Yeah, I think it's one of those losses that people aren't going to really realize how big of a loss it is until she's gone, and then the impact will be really apparent. We can all say just how important she is, but until like she's gone, I don't think we can all really even appreciate just what all she does for wrestling.
I mean, we have her successor already, though. Like Charlie Caruso is.
That was going to be my question. Is Charlie Caruso? I feel like is the logical person to kind of step into that role because she does host.
But I don't think she'll ever ring it out or like be a commentator.
No, I don't think so either. I think she's more You know, because she hosts Raw Talk. I think that currently
She hosts Raw Talk, and she also fills in. I think she's like the full-time backup for First Take.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the main lady's not there to facilitate.
So you know, it's yeah. I think Charlie can step up into that role. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see when Renee's last day is and where possibly she would end up. And then finally, Ring of Honor earlier this year had announced that they were bringing back the Pure Championship, but this week they announced 10 of the 16 competitors for the upcoming Pure Title tournament. It begins with the TV tapings that I think started this week. I know I saw like Ian Riccaboni and some other
Gary
people
Tilton.
tweeting from the bubble. So they're kind of quarantining and testing and then starting their tapings. But the participants announced thus far are PJ Black, Tony Deppen, former guest of this show, Tony Deppen, David Finlay, Jonathan Gresham, also former guest of the show. I believe we've had Gresham on. Confirm?
John Gresham?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, my bad.
Just say yes. Just anybody.
We probably should have.
The next person you say is a guest of the podcast.
Jay Lethal,
Done.
Rocky Romero,
Yep.
Matt Seidel, Tracy Williams, Josh Woods, and Wheeler Yuta. The remaining participants will be announced via ROHWrestling.com and their social media. Rules for the match are as follows. Every match begins and ends with a code of honor handshake. Every wrestler has 3 rope breaks to stop submissions and submission holds and pinfalls. After the exhaust their rope break, submission, and pin attempts or under the rope, his opponents are illegal. Closed fist punches to the face are not permitted. Only open-handed slaps or chops to the face are allowed. Punches to the other parts of the body are permitted, excluding low blows. The first use of a closed fist will get a warning. Second would get a disqualification. As in standard ROH matches, there'll be a 20 count when a wrestler is on the floor. Outside interference will result in automatic termination from the roster for the wrestler that interferes. There'll be two block single elimination format. Round 1, 15-minute time limit. Semifinals, 20-minute. Block finals, 30-minute. The tournament final will be a 1-hour time limit. There'll be 3 judges for each match, and time limit draws will go to a judge's decision. The Pure title was created in 2004 with AJ Styles defeating CM Punk in a tournament to become the first Pure champion. It was then held by stars such as Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, Nigel McGuinness. In August 2006, then ROH World Champion Bryan Danielson defeated McGuinness to unify the titles. It was announced earlier this year it was being resurrected. Tournament to crown a new champion was scheduled in March, but obviously postponed due to the pandemic. Now, for me, I had watched ROH at the point where the Pure Championship was around. I like some of the no, Jason, I don't think there are any punters, at least not yet announced in this tournament. I like kind of the shoot style rules and stuff like that. The only thing I don't prefer are the judges. Tim, you may be able to answer this. Was that a normal thing in Pure Championship matches before, the judges?
No, so I think the judges are only going to be around for the tournament. Everything else regarding the Pure Championship is correct. The rules seem a little more convoluted when you read them, but essentially every match, each competitor has 3 rope breaks that they can use at any time to break up a pinfall or a submission. Once you use your 3 rope breaks, the ropes become in play for the competitor. So, for example, if Tajiri were a part of the Pure division, the Tarantula is a legit submission after 3 rope breaks.
Ah, okay.
So you can,
that one kind of tripped me up a little.
Yeah, so the ropes can only save you 3 times in the match. After that, it's fair game. So there's a lot of really fun, exciting Pure title matches in ROH's history. I have a lot of them on DVD. Back when I was a robot, and bought literally almost everything from their classic catalog when they would do the 5 for 25 deal or 4 for 20 deals where you just buy DVDs at a clip. I have so much money tied up in ROH DVDs. It's not even funny. But the Pure title, I loved the Pure title. I was sad to see it go away when they unified it. It made sense when they unified it because Nigel McGuinness was on a heater at the time. And without the unification, Nigel McGuinness probably doesn't reinvent his style, go away from Pure rules, not invent, but basically do the Jawbreaker Lariat and go on his tear. Nigel McGuinness' best work is in Ring of Honor. But just the Pure title in general, such a fun era.
You're on board. This is a good place for you.
This actually might bring me back to Ring of Honor, especially with the dudes in the tournament like John Gresham. John Gresham is going to kill in this style.
Yeah, I was going to say
John Gresham, former guest.
Yeah, former guest John Gresham. Tracy Williams is going to kill in this. Wheeler Yuta is an underrated talent who is just as good in the wrestling ring as he is on the steel pan drum. You can actually follow him on social media at Wheeler Yuta. He plays the steel pan drum like all the time. He's very good at it. But I'm very interested to see who the other 6 competitors are going to be. I'm curious if they're going to be former Pure champions, or people who were around during the Pure title time. But it's definitely going to be a fun experience. It is a unique style that wrestling fans right now don't have. That experience doesn't exist. So I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air for Ring of Honor, a good blast from the past, and good for the fans in general.
Yeah. Anybody else excited about this? On board for
Jim,
this?
the list of champions you read. I mean, Styles, Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal. This is like a who's who of pro wrestling. So yeah, it's really cool to see it come back. I'm excited to see some lesser known indie stars get some light shine on them. Somebody maybe like a Tony Deppen, who is well known in like GCW circles, but doesn't deathmatch wrestle, but is a really good wrestler. So his time to shine. Wheeler Yuta was great. I've seen him a couple times on the indies. So yeah, really, really good opportunity. And I'm super excited to see who rounds out the class of 16.
Matt, Mark, any thoughts? Lee says he still has ROH shows that he attended on VHS.
Wow, there you go.
Back when it was RF video.
ROH.
Anybody else have any?
EC3 potentially in ROH.
I saw that.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
A lot of rumors about that.
I don't think he fits the Pure championship mold, but he definitely fits the ROH mold.
Yeah, it's weird to think like he was never a part of ROH. Just kind of rose to stardom in Impact, bounced to WWE. So I'm excited to see him if he does debut. Again, it's not happened yet, but I'm sure the spoilers will ruin that for everybody, and it'll be cool to see.
And it's also it wouldn't be the first time that Ring of Honor and Impact worked together or worked hand in hand. I mean, the on again, off again relationship between Ring of Honor and TNA Impact. I mean, AJ Styles was the Pure champion before he had to vacate the title because TNA pulled all their guys.
Right.
So there was there's definitely been an on again, off again relationship. And it would behoove both parties, I would assume, to be on again.
Sure would.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely would be good for both sides. Anybody else have anything to add on the show? Otherwise, we're going to wrap her up.
I think we're good.
All right.
I've got a little tidbit of wrestling information.
Oh, yes, Mark.
How do you like that? I just recently discovered. I thought I'd share it with everybody. Hello there. On You can download an app called Pluto TV. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's free TV with some really weird channels. But they actually have a TNA wrestling app, or channel rather, on the Pluto app where it's 24/7 TNA wrestling. And it's all the older stuff. So if you're into that, it's a free app, Pluto TV. And there might be maybe 100 channels on there, and TNA is one of them. There's
There
a
you
little
go.
tidbit of information.
Mark, bring it.
Find 3 Count Thursday on there.
Impact, technically. we should. We probably could get on. We probably could get on the Pluto channel.
Yeah, probably could.
On the app. It's Impact Wrestling, technically. Impact channel. But still, I thought
very
that was
good.
interesting.
I like that. All right, let's wrap this thing up. For Devin, Lee, Jason, cousin Brian, everybody that joined us live here tonight, we appreciate it and we thank your support as always. Matt, was there any Woman of the Week this week?
No,
you're focusing on moving, right?
I'm a little busy with the move coming up, so in a couple weeks we'll restart that project.
That's fair. That's fair. Where can people follow you? Sixers still alive, right down 2?
Yeah, well, you got about a week of me still complaining about that. Maybe that's being generous, like 4 days of that. But hey, my handle's right underneath. You can just check it out there.
Oh yeah, we don't even have to do that anymore. It's right there.
Number 8.
Those are our Twitter handles. Tim, Matt, you want to plug anything? Let's do that. You want to plug anything?
I do have some people coming on to do Mad Libs with us next week. So again, the move coming up, but I am making some time next week to do that. And of course, check out the SummerSlam episode this Sunday. Brittany said she will be back with us on the prediction show for that. So the full gang will be around.
Very good. Tim, you want to plug anything?
Final Wrestling Place. If you like wrestling podcasts, a little more retro, give Final Wrestling Place a listen wherever you get your podcasts. This season is a shorter 4-episode season where we are doing cinematic matches. Not just the ones WWE's been doing lately. Cinematic matches go farther back than that. So every episode we're putting one in the good place and one in the bad place. And they drop Mondays at midnight, again, wherever you get your podcasts or on the mothership, soundcloud.com/Final Wrestling Place.
Good stuff. Mark, you want to plug anything?
You know what? I'll give a shout out to Hodecker Celery. If you're looking for the best celery around, look no further than Hodecker Celery, which is available every Tuesday at Roots Country Market and or in Mount Joy at the Country Meadows. Country Table. Country Meadows is in E-Town. The Country Table Restaurant has it over in their bakery. When you snap into Hodecker Celery, you're not going to get that string. It's just going to snap right off, and it's delicious. Hodecker Celery. Tell them I sent you, and they'll say who. That's just Hodeckers being Hodeckers.
Ryan, you want to plug anything?
I scrambled. I panicked. I didn't know what to plug. So I'm going to grab this and remind everybody that only you can prevent forest fires.
That is true. You can also go to 3countthursday.com. It is our homepage, our home network, of course, NGSC Sports. But just head over to 3countthursday.com and you'll find everything there. It's super easy, clean interface. And tell you what, guys, we'll see you Sunday right back here on our Facebook page. Live sometime in the afternoon. We'll announce a start time for that in the coming days. But until then, stay safe, stay smart, go for the pin, and enjoy the Thunderdome.